And good morning, South Louisiana. Thursday, January 28th, 8:30 a.m. And welcome to our first installment here on Rumble. Goodbye, YouTube. So, let's move ahead. You're looking at the current surface analysis, and you can see up in the northeast and a little bit down there in West Virginia and eastern Kentucky there. Uh, some snowfall, what's left of it, here in the higher elevations. Looks like you got a little bit over here in Ohio as well. So there's still some snow showers up here in the higher elevations. Lake effect snow around Cleveland here and up into New York, uh, Massachusetts, and up into Maine. And even got a little bit of snowfall being recorded off the Delmarva there out in the Atlantic. So our resident storm chaser and air traffic controller from Lake Charles, John, uh, he's up there in Virginia, and he just checked in with me a little while ago, and he got about 3 inches of snow where he's at, and he's up here in this area here. So uh, I told him to bring some of that stuff back down here to us. So looking out west, Sierra Nevadas here, a lot of snowfall occurring there, which would help with their water supplies and a little bit of drought. And you see the big storm that's come ashore there in central and southern California. There, a lot of rain, even up in northwestern California there. So that's good for the dry tinder there. Should help alleviate some of their fire weather. Uh, Idaho, uh, Oregon, seeing some snowfall. Northern Utah, parts of Nevada there. Reno's getting in. Lovelock uh, getting a little bit of snowfall there. And look like a little bit of high elevation snow over here in Wyoming. So uh, there's some snowfall there. But yesterday I mentioned the pattern flip uh, is looking like it's coming. And uh, GFS has been locked onto it. I haven't looked at the euro yet, but we're going to look at it at the euro together and the GFS, and we'll show you what I'm talking about here. And probably some of you have seen it. I hate to say those two words. I'll just say the initials PV, and we'll leave it at that. But there'll be a little shift in that, and that's going to cause some very bitterly cold air to drop down, uh, mainly in the northern United States, the upper Midwest, and in the northeastern United States. And we're going to get a taste of some of that down here. Um, the troughs won't, with the fronts, won't dig down that far, uh, this far per se, with the bitterly cold air, but at least according to the models right now, that could change. Um, I think we are on tap here in the starting into the end of the first week and into the second week of February. We will see the effects of the pattern shift and the disruption of the PV. Uh, for those of you who know what those two letters stand for, uh, meteorological community, kind of taboo to talk about the polar vortex, but there's a disruption that's uh, starting to take place, and that's going to unlock the door for some bitterly cold air to drop down into the United States. And as for us right now, um, we'll take a look at our current surface temperatures. And I can tell you here in Hathaway, right now at 8:35 a.m. This is raw data, real-time data coming in from my weather station. Uh, I'm not sure what it's broadcasting on Weather Underground, as the unit is still calibrating. It takes about 30 to 35 days to get, on tap and start doing its accuracy, because I had to do a hard reset of it a while back. But uh, temperature here in Hathaway is 40, uh, with a wind chill of 33 right now, and winds out of the northeast at 9. Uh, we did get down to 39 here uh, briefly, and I think that's going to be our low, official low here in Hathaway for this morning, 39. We did have wind chill of 35 at one point. Winds are picking up a little bit this morning as we get into daylight, and so gives us a little bit, higher or lower wind chill with those uh, stronger winds. Uh, Generally, 5 to 10, maybe 12 miles per hour on the winds, and so you can deduct. There's a scale for that and a formula for that, but nevertheless, we're right around freezing with the wind chill, so we'll leave it at that, and we'll zoom in here. Whoop, that wasn't good. So we'll do the large fonts here and show you some of the temperatures here around the area. Jennings, you're at 41. Lake Charles, 39. Uh, Fort Polk, 37. Alexandria, 37. Natchitoches, 41. Baton Rouge, 39. Hammond, 37. Uh, that Picayune, uh, no, Bay St. Louis. My mouse is having some issues here. Uh, Slidell 41, New Orleans 45, Houma 43, Galliano Golden Meadow 45, Lafayette 43, Opelousas is checking in at 37, DeQuincy 37. Uh, let's see, not sure what this station is over here, KBKB. I'll have to check on that there. That's east of Fort Polk there. So Leesville, Fort Polk, 37. DeRidder, 37. Uh, Not seeing all of the towns and cities where some of these here, but it gives you a general idea. We're in the upper 30s to low 40s right now at this early hour of the morning, and we'll warm up generally into the 50s today, low to mid 50s depending on where you are, and generally uh, winds are probably going to be about what they are now. Um, right now, winds are out of the northeast. Um, Winds will probably pick up a little bit, 10 to 15, may get a little higher gust, but it's going to make it, although it's going to be sunny today, it's going to make for a raw day. Now, uh, what I want to do is, um, let's switch over to the GFS here. And what I'm going to do is, right now, I'm going to put this into motion here because we're going to start out as of now, and this is the latest run of the GFS, and we're going to put the forecast loop into motion here, and you see the blues at your 30s, basically your freeze line and lower, and then the greens are in the 40s to above freezing 30s, and then your yellows you start getting into the upper 40s and 50s, and so you see the color codes there and the numbers. That numbers are the temperatures, forecast temperatures. You see the purples up here and these pinkish colors. Uh, Pay attention to that because this is what I'm talking about, the pattern flow. Right now we're basically in a zonal flow where everything is basically west to east, and you're not seeing really no big troughs dipping down right now. And as I put this into motion here, I've got it set to run in a slow motion here. Uh, Watch the progression of this as we go forward, and uh, your date, your forecast date is right here, 1:30, January 30th, and you'll see the time in Zulu time there, Greenwich Mean Time, and that's 6 hours ahead. So whatever that number is, that Zulu number there, you deduct 6 hours from that. That'll give you our time here. But um, as we start to get into February now, and we're now February 2nd, midnight Zulu time. That would be 6 p.m. our time here on February the 1st. We always deduct 6 hours from that while we're on uh, standard time. So you see that you do have a little bit of trough digging here across the central or upper Midwest and into the northeastern states, and you see uh, they're fairly cold here at 6 p.m. in the evening already. So you see some 20s already digging down here, uh, but the best is yet to come. So let's put this in motion again, and we'll continue this. And you can see the trough that trough digs down here, way down, and you see the freeze line just above it, stretching down into southern Mississippi and southern Alabama, almost to the coast here on the Florida Panhandle, and that's going to keep these guys in wintertime. And so this is sort of typical February weather. Uh, you have these disruptions in the polar vortex, and uh, again, when we're in a zonal flow, it tends to keep all of that cold air bottled up in Canada. And when you get a disruption in that polar vortex, it opens up the door and slingshots that super cold air down into the United States. So we'll put it back into motion here, and we'll continue. And you see it lift off there, and we start to see it filter back down again. And you can see the cold air is going to stay in place. But watch your purples up here in Canada. Now we're here in February the 4th now, and these long range models, you take them with a grain of salt, but uh, they've been pretty spot on as far as what we can expect. And you see that purple starting to dig down, and as we get into February 6th now, and February 5th and 6th, and you start to see a lot of that super cold air, that negative, double-digit negatives dropping down. Those aren't wind chills, ladies and gentlemen. That is actual temperatures. So uh, the big freeze is coming for the upper Midwest and the northeastern states. And uh, again, it's still basically zonal, but that disruption is allowing uh, some of this colder air to dig down. And you see here the 20s here on the second week of February. This is 6 p.m. on February the 12th. So and as you can see, the upper Midwest and the northeastern states, they're basically been locked in and going to stay locked in at the big time winter conditions for the foreseeable future, at least next 2 weeks, if this verifies. So we'll continue to put this into motion here, and well, that's as far as it went. So um, this would be midnight on February the 13th. Uh, that would be a Saturday, and you see the 20s here in the northeastern part of the state, and you can see here there's clearly another front coming down, and you see the trough digging down. So uh, we're going to get some weather, some cold air, and what I'll do is um, let's take a look at uh, precipitation now. Let's make sure that this is getting viewed properly here. Okay, so um, let's put this into motion here, and we're starting out now. We're going all the way to, what was that, February the 13th. So we'll slow this down, and uh, this way it's not so fast for you. So you see another little trough digging down, but it doesn't come down way down here in the into the south. See, the first week of February got another big storm for the northeast there, and in the upper western part of the states, you see the snowfall coming in as another area of low pressure slides across, and it's basically zonal from west to east, and uh, it starts to intensify as it ejects to the northeast, and once again, northeast snow and rain mix. So, and then right behind it, we have high pressure building in, and unfortunately, all of the snow stays well north of us. And you see those light blue colors there. That's your snowfall, and your darker blues there. So, uh, unfortunately, it'll be rain, chilly rain, and cold. Again, not looking for any snow this year. We're running a loop through again here as we move through, and uh, getting into January 30th now, February 1st. So let's take a look at the euro. Uh, 06 euro hasn't updated yet, but we're going to take a look at the last run of the euro, which was 00 Zulu, and it's just for fun. And we're going to slow the loop speed down, and this is going to be current. Uh, Although from what I showed you on radar on the surface analysis there on Weather Studio, you can see here uh, that's overplaying playing the precipitation quite a bit. Um, so we'll see what the new one says there. But uh, let's put this into motion here, and this only goes out 240 hours, so it doesn't go as far out as the GFS, but gives a general idea. We're looking at precipitation and your pressure there. You see those black lines, that's your isobars. And see a series of fronts rolling across the United States. And uh, again, February the 4th, we'll have yet another front coming through. And you see the black lines are close together, so that's indicative of some strong winds. It's going to be windy. Uh, out ahead of this front. We'll let it come through here, and you see it's a very narrow band of light to moderate precip. Probably some embedded thunder in there, possibly. We'll take a look at that as we, move forward. At this point, I don't see any severe threat. Uh, that could change depending on things, but again, I'm not really seeing any big issues as I've looked at some other parameters before I started this presentation here this morning. But uh, we're out now 198 hours on the high res Euro. So we'll put this into motion again, and let's step back here. So this is kind of interesting. So you see some backside moisture, and you do see a little wintry precip here on the backside of this. This would be on February the 5th at midnight. So, or Thursday the 4th, Friday the 5th at midnight. And say Thursday at midnight in the Friday morning, early morning hours of Friday morning. It's kind of interesting. Um, whether there's any accumulations, who knows? Uh, Again, I think the euro is kind of overplaying it a little bit, and it has a tendency to do that. But uh, nevertheless, I think it's going to be all rain. But you never know. Mother Nature does her own thing. So we'll finish this loop out here, and we'll move forward. And as that front gets out of here, see high pressure kind of builds in. And then we start to see well, see another area of low pressure here over northern Mexico, and uh, things have cleared out here in the south. So um, what I'll do now is we'll run the temperatures through here, and let me make sure this is set up here where you're seeing it properly here. So we'll slide this down just a tad here. This way you can see what you're looking at here. All right, so uh, we're going to put this into motion now, and we'll move forward. You see the dark purples up there bottled up, but as we move forward, start to get into February here, and you see some of that cold air getting down in here, and I'll say the GFS is a lot more aggressive uh, with bringing that super ultra cold air down into the United States, whereas the Euro is not as aggressive. Um, we'll see, and now that's not to say, you've got some single digit temperatures here, along with some tens and teens in here. So, some pockets of it. So, again, as for down here in Louisiana, we're basically in the 30s. This will be on February the 2nd at midnight. So that would be a Tuesday. Let's move that through again here. So you see, we basically still got a zonal flow, and it's keeping the cold, super cold air bottled, across from the central United States northward. Um, you're gonna have to wait and see what the 06 Zulu run of the Euro says, and you know these long range models, there's always going to be some spread in them, and right now, you know, there's still enough spread that thing it gives a degree of uncertainty, and so you take them with a grain of salt when this far out. But um, nevertheless, I think February is could get interesting for South Louisiana. Uh, we could see some of our coldest air yet. Uh, Not going to say it will, but I think it's a degree of possibility is going up as we move forward. So we'll have to see what the model trends do and see if they start to come into better agreement as we start to move, forward in time and get closer into the February here. So, next week uh, will be enough time that we'll be able to see what's actually going to occur here. But, from now and through the weekend, um, that's basically going to be uh, the time frame where I'm going to be closely watching model trends and uh, seeing how this is going to play out. Um, but again, if we do get some of this coldest air of the season come down starting, next month, uh, folks, if you don't have your pipes wrapped, get it done. Uh, we haven't really had any good hard freezes yet. So uh, it's still possible. It's still winter. Um, there's still always that possibility. Uh, you know, take your precautions. Now while you can. Uh, I've still got to do a little bit of work in insulating mine, the water line in here. So as we had to replace it a while back. I've got about 80% of it wrapped. But nevertheless, uh, do what you can to protect your home and make sure you don't get any busted pipes from the cold in case we do get a really good hard freeze. Um, I'm not going to say it's coming. However, the cold air is coming. Uh, how cold it's going to be, that remains to be determined. Uh, at this point, I don't see any severe threat in the long range, so that's a good thing. Uh, as we get into March and April, though, I think things start to pick up severe weather wise as we start getting into spring there. So, um, you know, right now let's enjoy the quiet weather time and enjoy beautiful but cold weather for those of us snow Cajuns, as I call ourselves, that enjoy the cold weather. Uh, Enjoy it while you can. Pretty soon, them 80s gonna come rolling back, and then them 90s gonna come rolling back. And for you Sun Cajuns, uh, you'll be enjoying that. Those of us who like the cold will be in misery for the summer. So uh, it won't be long. But anyways, uh, there you have it. Uh, Pretty repetitive weather pattern over the next, you know, week to 10 days. And uh, other than that, nothing doing with the weather. Um, Again, no severe weather is anticipated at least for the next 8 days. And if anything changes, I'll keep you guys updated as always. And again, uh, make sure that you're following on social media the National Weather Service in Lake Charles and New Orleans, Slidell, uh, depending on your location. Lake Charles covers to the Atchafalaya, and uh, Slidell covers east of the Atchafalaya. So, uh, with that said, that's going to end it. Make sure you hit that like button, share, and let's start getting some positive algorithms here on Rumble. That's it, folks. If you can, donations always appreciated. Helps keep my monthly expenses, a little bit lower, out of pocket expenses lower, because some of the stuff I use is subscription based software. Uh, Allows me to bring you a better presentation. So, with that, uh, hit one of the donation links, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Uh, Always appreciated. That's going to do it for now. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you again later.